Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. It is late, but I decided I want to do this video. I already went live for the sweep. I said the sweep. The Las Vegas Aces put on DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, and all of the Phoenix Mercury. They said bye-bye. Tonight's live stream had a whole lot of trolling in it. A whole lot of trolling at the expense of DB, who went to the Phoenix Mercury and played on a real team. And Alyssa, Mack Truck, Freight Train, Thomas. Gonna keep this very simple. I'll say what I said in a recent video. You don't generally catch moi rooting for A'ja Wilson, rooting for the Aces, but I have to root for A'ja Wilson over the person who quit on her team, DeWanna Bonner, and then talk smack. They got swept. They didn't just lose. They got swept. Embarrassing. And it was a blowaway for a while. A blowaway, a blowout, whatever you want to call it. But in the second half, Phoenix, they like to come back. They like to push. Their backs against the wall. And they did that, but it wasn't enough. It got out of hand. I started seeing the physicality step up. And we were in the chat saying, officials better get a hold of this. You had Alyssa Thomas, who got frustrated and she wants to barrel her way into people like she always does. She did one barrel too many into A'ja Wilson and Chelsea Gray, whom we affectionately call Grandmama. She has some words for AT.
But obviously an obvious foul there.
And Evans had words for AT throughout the game because AT likes to talk smack, likes to barrel into people, then likes to put the smirk on. She got frustrated and she started acting like it. The coach, Nate Tibbetts, he got frustrated. He got tossed from the game. And there's a lot of conversation out there about if he should not have been tossed from the game. He stepped on the court, he gets a T. As you know, if you get another T, you're out of there. He goes up in the official's face, the woman official's face, probably spitting, yelling, saying whatever he's saying, and she kicked him out. Now, first, Rebecca Lobo and Ryan Rucco said, well, perhaps he made physical contact with her, but that's an automatic adios. But from the angle, they didn't think that happened, didn't think that he should have been tossed. We, of course, don't know what he said, but he really should not have been in her face. But generally speaking, man, in an elimination game type situation, perhaps an official would walk away and let it go. But he said something, or she didn't like him in her face, or spitting in her face when he was talking or whatever. He got the boot. The assistant coach stepped in, and then Phoenix really turned it up, because sometimes that's the way it happens. Kahleah Copper, she did her part. She had 30 points in this game. She was doing everything she could possibly do to keep her team in it. It wasn't enough. And then at the end of the day, I'm no Kahleah Copper fan, but she's been in this league long enough to know that you don't exit the game the way she did. Her team was down single digits at that point when she fouled out. And what does she do? She says something, gets on the official's case, says something, whatever it was. So she got a technical. And I thought, how selfish is that? Your team is single digits. There's over a minute to go, and you get a T on your way out. Extremely selfish, immature, and it's just not smart. But even more than not being smart, once again, it's selfish, because just because you're not in the game doesn't mean that you don't want your team in the best possible position to still try to win this game in single digits. And a little over a minute in basketball can be a long time. So that wasn't cool. Alyssa Thomas had gotten hurt earlier with the shoulder. She ran into Jewel Lloyd. I felt like Jewel was set at the bottom. She was leaning in at the top, but it was Alyssa Thomas who barreled into Jewel Lloyd, who was moving slightly. And so she ended up hurt. That was at the end of the first half. And then she came back. You couldn't tell that anything was wrong. She got in there and did what she had to do. But she was clearly frustrated. Phoenix was clearly outmatched by the Aces, although Phoenix tried to push their way back. You had Asia Wilson, Asia Special Whistle Wilson, who does Asia Wilson type things. So in this game 4, Vegas won 97-86. And I just mentioned Asia Wilson with 31 points. She had 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Asia Wilson. You also had Chelsea Gray with 18 and Jackie Young with 18 and Jewel Lloyd with 12 and Dana Evans with 10. Those are the ones with double digits. But Asia Special Whistle Wilson, she shot, go down to free throws. Asia had 19 free throws in the game. If you go down to Phoenix, Phoenix had 19. All of Phoenix, 19. Asia Wilson by herself, 19 free throws and made 17 out of 19. I have to say, yep, you see that special whistle, but also she was getting fouled a lot for real. And the one when Mack Truck Thomas came over, hit her in the nose, she was hurting, went down, and that was when Chelsea Gray had something to say with to AT. But yeah, 19 free throws. That's deep. If you look at Phoenix Mercury, we had 30 points from Kahleah Copper, as I said, on 12 of 22 shooting, 17 points from Alyssa Thomas. Then you had 10 from Bonner, 10 from Akoa Makani, and 10 from Kalani Brown. But the Aces spanked the Mercury in this series. The Aces. The team that Indiana took to game 5 overtime, 5 minutes away. The team that could not handle Indiana, I'll say it, without help from the officials, fouling out Aaliyah Boston on bogus fouls. And then, of course, Kelsey Mitchell, unfortunately, as she said, played until the wheels came off. But just some takeaways from this. This should be a lesson for DeWanna Bonner, who was completely unprofessional, ran chasing a ring, disrespected her team in the process when she met, by leaving, by not texting them when she left, by then talking smack when she faced them again, and just running her mouth and then playing the victim. AT, same thing. She plays dirty, period. I think she's dangerous and she shouldn't be on the court. I've said it a million times. I still mean it. She plays with the physicality, not skill. She can pass the ball, but a lot of that other stuff is just absolute uninteresting to watch. Like, who wants to watch people linebacking people? I don't even know much about football, but I keep hearing people refer to her as a linebacker, whatever you want to call it. It is absolutely horrible to watch because it's not about skill. It's about brawn. As I said in my earlier video about Lexi Hull being snubbed for all defensive team. So there's that from about DB and AT. Like I said, Kahleah Copper, extremely selfish of her, even though shout out to her for doing everything she could to win. But then when it all came down to it, when she found out, she just totally was disrespectful of her team's attempt to try to win a game that they needed to win. I already said I'm not an Asia Wilson fan, but Asia Wilson with that shot in game 3 with 5 seconds left when they were inbounding the ball, and then 2.2 on the clock when she released the ball to get that win. Also, I tell you over and over again, games are won and lost at the free throw line. AT, first game, was it? I think it was the first game. 2 free throws. You can win this game, and you missed both of them. You choked. I don't want to forget this, so let me say this right now. Prayers for Satu Sabali with that concussion. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Anybody. And that was just bad. I just kind of barely looked at it because I got the weak stomach, but praying for her to be well. Becky Hammon, 3 championships in 4 years. What? Not a Becky Hammon fan. Was not a Becky Hammon fan when she wore number 25 for the New York Liberty. Was not a New York Liberty fan. Still not a Becky Hammon fan. But I gotta say, 3 championships in 4 years. That's just nasty work. Alyssa Smith, interesting story. Fever let her go, which I feel like they should have, and they did. She goes to Dallas, ends up playing for the Aces with the player she truly admires, in A'ja Wilson. She gets a ring. Okay. Like I said, I'd rather her get a ring than DB get a ring in light of the circumstances. There's that. You got Jewel Lloyd. Jewel Lloyd, who wanted up out of Seattle, had her beef, whatever Noelle Quinn had going on there. And she comes to the Aces. She gets the championship. Noelle Quinn, she loses her job. Kelsey Plum with the Aces. She wanted to try her hand at leading a team herself. That's her decision to make, of course. She did go to Los Angeles. They don't make the playoffs. The Aces win a championship. I'm just giving you some thoughts off the top of my head. And again, I'm just talking about the Aces championship because DeWanna Bonner quit on her team and goes to a team that can't even get one win against the Aces, a team that Indiana could have beaten, and a team that Indiana totally took to the brink. I'll probably talk about more about that later and some numbers concerning how Indiana handled the Aces. So, Aces champions, DeWanna Bonner. I don't know if she's retiring. I don't know if AT is retiring. I don't know. But the way AT plays and the way DeWanna Bonner walks away from her teams had me rooting for the Aces. Lots of lessons in there. Hopefully, people have learned something. I don't know, but I know Indiana Fever fans, DeWanna Bonner like united everybody who doesn't even root for A'ja Wilson. They were rooting for A'ja Wilson in this series. And there you have it. That's all I had to say. I just wanted to point that out. So the name of my live stream tonight was something like, will the Las Vegas Aces sweep the Phoenix Mercury watch party? We now know the answer to the question. Put a broom in the comments. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.